cool as this car looks with the roof down, it's too cold. Hello one and all, and welcome to Seen Through Glass. Welcome to Connecticut. Welcome to the Bentley Continental GTC V8. Yes, the V8 version of the convertible new style Bentley Continental. Now, I don't think it's a big secret that I'm a big Bentley fan. I always have been, and this year especially, they've been very good to me. Earlier in the year, they actually lent us the Continental in New Zealand for a week to do some exploring, and I fell in love with the car. It's just the perfect, everyday, sporty Grand Tour. This thing is so luxe, and don't get me wrong, I love my 911, but after spending nearly 10 months in it, I'm a little bit sick of the ride. Yep. So to be able to be in something so supple and just everything feels great to touch. Anyway, the reason I'm in this vehicle is this year is Bentley's 100th anniversary, the 100th birthday of Bentley, and all over the world they've been doing some very big celebrations, and one of their biggest is happening today in New York, which is a couple of hours away from where we are. So they very kindly lent me this car, and we're going to be driving to meet what I believe is a convoy of hundreds of Bentleys that are then all going to be parked up in Manhattan, and just a celebration of this great British brand. I'm feeling very proud to be British today. So yes, let's do this. Let's make our way into New York City. Given the 30-odd Bentleys that are currently driving in front of me, I assume we've made it to the first meeting point. This is Citi Field, home of the New York Mets, who aren't the New York Yankees. I think the Mets are I guess the Manchester United to Manchester City. There's me attempting a football reference. But yes, anyway, I've woken up a bit now, a couple of hours in this lovely, luxurious car, and it has refreshed us. But I am in need, of course, for a coffee. It wouldn't be a Seen Through Glass vlog without me talking about coffee. So yes, I'm going to park up amongst a sea of other Bentleys, check in, find a coffee, and then eventually I assume we're going to be making our way from here into Manhattan, New York City, for real. How ridiculous is this for a coffee spot? This is the sort of hospitality for the pre-meet. This isn't even officially the event yet. As I mentioned, this is where people are gathering to go to the event and where they're serving coffee and breakfast burritos. I'm actually secretly a bit of a fan of American sports. It's a lot more entertaining, I think, than some of the UK European sports. Everyone's just out to have a good time. However, baseball's one that I've never really been able to get my head around so much. A bit like cricket, just seems to go on for an incredibly long amount of time. But being here now and seeing this, I feel like maybe I should give it a go. It's got a bit of nostalgia and coolness. Anyway, there's not a game going on right now, so I'm going to enjoy my burrito and my coffee, and then yes, we'll be heading back, and don't worry, the car content will continue. But yes, baseball fans, New York Mets. Now for me, Bentley is so much more than the cars, because let's face it, they don't bring out that many cars that often, but it's about the brand value. And just to show you this, firstly, got a load of flags to celebrate the centenary, so that's pretty good and pretty standard. A parking pass for later. This is the route guide for today, which has been sealed with wax and a stamp. I mean, like was done in the Tudor days. That is just so unnecessarily over the top, but amazing. It's one of those reasons why I love Bentley, and so I just want to... flicked off. I think it was supposed to snap. But literally, that's how the Queen signs her letters, I've been told. So anyway, yes, now we've got the route guide. We can get prepped and get ready. This is literally the nicest route guidance I've ever received on a rally in my life. I kind of want to frame it somewhere. In this group, this is only a small group heading to the main concourse in the city. So this is just a, as I say, about 30 cars or so. Apparently there are going to be hundreds when we finally arrive, but we've got everything from a hybrid Bentayga to the early 90s Continental, the one with the spinning fans at the front, which I love. What else we've got? We've got Brooklands, we've got a vintage Bentley here. I have no idea what that is, but it's awesome. So yeah, lots to look at, but there's going to be even more in town. Luckily we get to enjoy a bit of a convoy cruise there first, and apparently there's going to be a helicopter filming us as we go over Brooklyn Bridge. A helicopter. I freely admit we're not very Bentley right now. We're headed into a tunnel as the helicopters circulate above us, and I want to rev because this is the V8, not the W12 Continental, and I haven't heard this really properly yet, so I'm going to try and start a rev battle, but I also want to try and get on the helicam. If anyone else revs right now, I'll eat my hat. Tooted. It's a very whooshy noise. It's a very whooshy noise, but there was some backfires and that helicopter's still there.
Not a security for stopping the fight. I got a flip.
Fan of helicopters, they terrify me, but I am a fan of this helicopter pilot. This guy's been trailing us now for what feels like about 30 minutes. It's going so extreme because the traffic is so bad. I guess he's having to sort of, you know, bring out his best moves to get the shots. So we've had like super low flybys. He's been doing like what look like J-turns in a helicopter. It's so impressive. Also a little bit sketchy because I sort of feel like I have to kneel down or lean down every time that he comes close. But it's insane to think the amount of money Bentley must be spending on this production. But yeah, this helicopter is so entertaining to watch. Honestly, I don't want to be in it, but being safely on the ground, watching him do his thing, it's mental. It wasn't a quick convoy, but it was a good one because driving into New York City on a day like today is always immense, even though we were in traffic for most of the way. But what a car to be in traffic in. Anyway, all the cars are now parking up down here in a sort of underground basement. Unbelievably, Bentley have put me up in New York tonight, so we're actually going to go check into our hotel before heading to the Concours. Everyone's going to check into the hotel first before doing anything.
Just straight across is the back entrance.
Check it in, please.
What's the last name, sir? Here you go.
Fantastic, thank you very much.
You're welcome, Idris.
Yes. This is why we are here then, the centenary Concours d'Elegance taking place in the heart of the New York financial district. As always, whenever you come to New York, there is just noise everywhere, so it's going to be quite hard to film here. There's also a lot of people looking around at everything from, well, all sort of post-war cars, but also brand new concept cars, Pikes Peak race cars, and just amazingness. So yes, you can have a spin around, show you what's here, and just take it all in.
It's kind of awkward to be talking about Ferraris, right?
But we have to do it.
But at the end of the day, we're superior over all anyway. Make sure they're not looking. But my man right here, and weird that we met, driving in a Bentley on the BQE. He's all the way on the other side of the world over here, right? Hanging out in Brooklyn, New York. Camera fell, pick his camera up, and now I'm kicking it with him.
So hold on a second. Don't just undersell that, because we're on the highway. My GoPro falls off. You stop in the middle of all traffic.
So we're on the highway, stop in the middle of the highway in traffic in Brooklyn. No, you know you can't do that in New York City because the horns are like, bah, everybody going crazy. Stop, got his camera, not to find out is one of my man right here. I'm a biggest fan of him, right? Before I bought my 430, my dream car, I always watch him. I always watch his stuff. I always watch him taking it to the shop with his 360, talking about his manual and everything like that.
So you
gotta
knew it was going to cost you money, basically. You knew
hell
how
yeah,
to be
hell
taken
yeah,
to the
hell
shop.
yeah, exactly. So you took it to your boy's shop over there and you get everything checked out, always taking the tours, always staying for a ride, and he inspired me to get one. I got mine, I love it, that's my dude right here.
I love it, man. Thank you so much, so nice to meet you.
And yo, respect, I'm big up to all the guys I'm over in England, because Jamaican right here, big up all the time. Respect.
Now, back in New Zealand, I actually got to check out the Bentayga Pikes Peak Edition. Well, here is the actual Pikes Peak record-setting Continental GT. And what's crazy is that now I've actually been to Pikes Peak and been all the way to the top. It's cool to see a car that raced up there. So this obviously has, again, the 100-year sort of number on the front to celebrate the centenary. A lot of celebrations going on. We've also got the sort of new livery, or that kind of green, acidy green paint matching the wheels too. Completely custom interior. So we've got this kind of these race seats. All the rear has been completely ripped out. You can't really see that all too well. Some slightly different settings in the middle there in terms of cutting ignition and the fuse box and everything like that. Otherwise, pretty recognisable as a Continental GT. A few extra bits of carbon fibre and stuff, but yeah, insane to think that this flew up the hill in a record-setting time. But I have to show you this. We were talking about revving up the V8 earlier, even though this is the W12 Continental, that has a special Akrapovic Pikes Peak exhaust. You see that? You've got the little branding on the side, and then big Akrapovic sticker there, and then a little on the thing. So that must sound absolutely awesome, and I hear they are going to be firing it up to move it, so I'm going to hang around, see if I can hear what this thing sounds like. I've managed to wait until they've kind of cordoned everybody off, because they are now going to be clearing some of these cars away, and I wanted to show you this because this is what's been getting the most attention down here today. The brand new all-electric EXP 100 GT concept. This is what Bentley expect to be making in 2035, only about 15-16 years from now. They hope to be doing 0 to 100, or sorry, 0 to 60 sub 3 seconds, and have about 400-mile range. The thing is absolutely huge. With that door open, it makes the car 12 foot tall. It's ridiculous. But history would tell that Bentley are pretty accurate with their concept cars. The EXP9 was the Bentayga concept, the EXP10, the new Continental GT concept. Both of them looked pretty accurate to how these sort of final products look. So let's skip ahead 15 or 16 years, and we could genuinely be seeing something like this rolling around on the roads from Bentley. Now, you might think that that all looks cool, especially that interior. Look at this front end. This is literally a chandelier. Now, the whole thing lights up and glows. Those headlights are out freaking rageous, as are the size of those wheels. I doubt that will make production, but yeah, the thing is definitely a showstopper, and it's so funny because as a sort of petrol head or car guy, I've been milling around looking at the Pikes Peak Continental over there and the new Flying Spur, but everyday members of public think that this thing is the sort of most impressive car here, and I would agree with them. Okay, fine, it's only a concept, but wow, 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 look inside. Absolutely mad. All those wooden materials, more of that kind of like crystal-like headlining, and then the amount of space you have to step inside. How do you move a priceless concept car with a remote control? Incredible. And there we have it, getting now tucked away back into the truck. Absolutely unreal to see this thing rolling through streets. As I say, let's pretend in about 15 years this we might actually see rolling around on the road. I had to get that for you after teasing it about, I don't know, 5 minutes ago, but yes, that's the Akrapovic Pikes Peak exhaust on the W12 Continental, and oh, it's beefy. It is beefy, and I was thinking about this earlier actually. The only thing that maybe is missing from the W12 is a big soundtrack, because it's supposed to be a very comfy, everyday cruiser, and I think most W12 buyers don't want a big shouty soundtrack like that, but I would, and that is very tempting. Anyway, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of today's activities. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you have. I'm about to get run over, and make sure to subscribe for plenty more videos to come.